And this institution has a tremendous capacity for change. We have one point, the Emir appoints every district head, every village head, every ward head, every imam, and every deputy imam of a Friday mosque throughout the Emirate. I don't think there's a single system where an individual has such direct control over so many people that reach the grassroots, so that communication from the top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top is almost seamless. Now that way, the institution has a tremendous ability for transforming the way people think, the way they perceive, the way they accept policy, and the way they collaborate with government. That is the role that I see.
In your position, what do you hope to do in order to change the situation, the present situation we are in?
The first thing is to let people understand that going back to the Islamic roots, a lot of what we see as problems actually come from our leaving the teachings of the religion. Islam preaches education for all adherents. I've just addressed a few days ago some of the issues around, say, early girl-child marriage, removing girls from schools and marrying them off in the name of Islam, which is actually a cultural practice that is not consistent with the teachings of the religion, or the high rates of divorce and basically a lack of concern for the rights of women.
How do you think you're going to use this system now in order to change the present predicament that the North finds itself in Nigeria?
I think, first of all, the federal government itself has to understand that the economic conditions in the North and the level of poverty and marginalization are likely to be fertile ground for breeding extreme ideologies. And it happened in the Niger Delta with the Niger Delta militancy. It happens everywhere. When people feel economically excluded and politically disempowered, there is a groundswell of resentment, and then it's very easy for people to come up with all sorts of lunatic ideas and people accept them. While it's important that we handle this thing from a military security perspective and make sure that the military advance of insurgents is stopped and crushed, the reality is there has to be a proper Marshall Plan. There's no investment in irrigation. There is little investment in agricultural productivity. There is little focus on Western education and the general quality of life and employment generation in the North. If you look at Kano, one of the reasons it's been relatively calm is because in the last 4 years there's been a lot of work done by the state government on infrastructure, creating jobs and so on. As long as people are gainfully employed, they're not likely to jump into the bandwagon of insurgency. So these are things that need to be taken as a collective and not in isolation.
Your Royal Highness, you're not an ordinary citizen now. I mean, is there anything that you miss? I mean, from being an ordinary citizen to now Your Royal Highness, the Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II?
I think the reality is every public office, every position has costs. Every privilege comes with responsibility, and you have to give up some things. And if you desire a position or seek a position, you're aware from day number one what the deal is. You know that there are sacrifices you need to make, but you also know that there is a tremendous capacity for doing good and contributing to the lives of people and leaving a legacy that hopefully you will be rewarded for in the hereafter.